Hello and welcome to the Wheel to Wheel podcast. I'm Ali.
I'm Akeem.
And this is our F1 weekly catch-up.
Ooh, let's get into it.
What are we saying?
Well, let's live off where we left off. Monaco.
Do we have to?
Sadly so. I feel like we kind of owe it to them, to be fair. All of our millions of subscribers.
Soon come. But yeah, I mean, we could talk about our predictions and how it
Fared out.
Yeah, not great. Except let's be honest, is Monaco's a quali race, and if our quali predictions weren't right, then we weren't right at all.
Facts.
And we weren't. We both went for a Max Verstappen pole, and yeah, it didn't fare well for Max Verstappen. He did all right, but yeah,
He done what he could. I think they even had a very smart strategy with just taking the penalty, still put him in fourth.
Yeah, but he didn't do it. But that's the thing. He had the option to. And that's what's crazy about it. It's like from fourth to fifth, we had, 45 seconds before the pit stop. And then from fifth, from Lewis Hamilton to Isaac Hadjar, it was plus 1 lap. And then from Isaac Hadjar down to the rest was plus 2 laps. I'm like, oh, Monaco, man. Like, how shit are you? But we'll get on to Monaco properly. So we both went for Max, and you went for Oscar second and Lando third.
Yeah.
I had Lando second and Leclerc third. But fair play to Lando Norris. Got to give it to him. He was on it.
He done well. I like the fact that, you know what, he didn't bottle it up. It's hard not to, but we have to give him credit still.
He's hardly bottled it in on the Sunday. I don't think he's bottled at all on the Sunday. And you know what? This is going to be surprising to hear for the people that actually know me, but I'm actually supporting Lando a little bit more.
It's a big thing, trust me.
And yeah, it's big. Just because last year he kind of annoyed me with some of his comments, especially to Lewis and to Max. I was just like, come on, man, you're not that guy right now. But Lando, you are that guy at the moment. You know what? Good job. And I hope you can still keep producing it, because it was only a matter of time until he turned up. And boy, did he turn up for the occasion. Monaco is the hardest quali race of them all, and fair play.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely cemented his name in being a great qualifier now. And what I like most, was even when I saw the lap back, it was just phenomenal, man. Because Charles was going at it, man. He gave a phenomenal lap, but that McLaren was just too fast. It was just crazy.
It's just every time it leaves for an exit, it just had better exits every time, especially when it was going through to the tunnel or when it was going down the main straight into turn 1.
Yeah.
Every exit of the McLaren was just amazing. Like, you can't really fight against it. And you know what? Fair play to Leclerc. He gave it his hardest fight, and
true.
I really wished you know what? I didn't mind Lando winning, but I think everybody wanted a Leclerc win at that point, is because it's a home race, and
we love
it would have been a different constructor winner as well. So it would have been nice to kind of see that shake up.
Yeah, true. And you know what, as well, right? It's you could see in his face when he came in that P2 in quali, he already knew. And I think at that point, it's all the drivers that got their quali result all knew what it already stood for. Because the race itself, they know, he knew the best bet he really had was either a bad pit stop or just to try and do something really naughty at the beginning.
And also, we got, even though they didn't win the race, Ferrari, you didn't fuck it up. So
yeah,
good on you guys.
I mean, Lewis got a P5. That's really
and he got the 3 place grid penalty as well on top of that. And yeah, it was a good recovery race.
But you know that was because of his race engineer as well, innit?
And there's been a lot of talks online about replacing his engineer, and they need to get rid of him.
He needs to go, man. To be honest, you can't have a guy who's telling you, Lewis literally said to him, I'll pull over. And he was doing that. And then the guy was basically saying him, no, don't worry about it, whatever. And then, that's the whole reason it happened. It could have been avoided.
It's just their relationship. Long may it continue for this year, just because, look, to Lewis Hamilton fans, he's not winning the 8th this year. I think we can all agree on that. Just for now, for this year, let's just have fun with the radios because they've been delivering, and they've been delivering good. Him and his race engineer, I think his name is Ricardo, right? Ricky, he calls him. Him and his race engineer are husband and wife. That thing at the end where Lewis said, he's going through the tunnel, "Are you mad at me?" I was like, damn. It's just silence. It's like,
no
damn.
response, nothing.
Yeah.
That's scary, man. Like,
They're husband and wife.
Like when you have a missus, you know when you upset the missus, like you just say, "Oh, like, are you upset with me?" She just doesn't really like, nothing. Like, nah, man. It's a hot seat. He's going on. I don't know what they were talking about after that race.
And you know what? You know what's the best thing about it? And I'm sorry to Lewis Hamilton fans, and I'm not doing this like saying this out of a kind of a spiteful thing, but it couldn't happen to a better driver, and that's only that's only based off of Lewis Hamilton's personality.
Yeah,
it's just because Lewis is so like, I don't know,
polite, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's polite, and
when you can get him over the edge, it's just perfect. I think that's one of my simple pleasures. Is like when you can, you know, when somebody is so polite, it's like you kind of want to annoy them, and you kind of get a kick, get a rise out of annoying somebody. And that's it for me for Lewis. That's what I see a bit of joy. I'm like, yeah, Ricardo, do you think that's what Ricardo's doing? He's obviously
he's doing a very good job. Phenomenal, mate. As a Lewis fan, it hurts when I hear it. You know what? The best one was just leave me to it, man. Leave me to it, man. And he's just still giving him a press SK1 for just leave me to just leave me to it, man.
Stop talking to me in the braking zone. Like, yeah, no. Long may it continue. But
it's awful.
But let's get on to the two-stop strategy. Listen, I'm not gonna diss the FIA because they tried something.
True.
Fair enough. They tried something, but boy, did it backfire. I think, if anything, what the two-stop strategy did do is just highlight even further how Monaco does not deserve to be on the F1 calendar. They can't do anything to it because the cars are too big for it.
Facts, 100%. Because George made an interesting comment about you can put F2 car in the mix, same result.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't overtake. Like, it's just, you're just going around. It's not what it used
to be back in the day.
No.
So, yeah. But something that you said last weekend, they will never take Monaco off because it's a networking event for the rich.
Facts. 100%.
It's
Come in with
so
their
boring.
yachts, you know, get the champagne out, you know, just...
You saw Jeff Bezos there.
Exactly.
It's like, you don't really, like, in Miami, you see the celebrities. In Monaco, you see the CEOs. And I think it's the big difference.
Real talk. That's true.
Don't get me wrong. I get why they keep it. It's historic. It's glamorous. But it's so boring.
Yeah.
It's the most boring race of the season. And that's saying something when you have shitty tracks like Miami in there.
Shit on Miami, innit?
I'm not on board with... I'm not even on board with Vegas. I know Vegas had delivered in the last 2 seasons, and 2 seasons it's been in there. I just don't agree with it. I just think you're getting rid of such great circuits. Like, we don't even have a German Grand Prix anymore. Like, how sad is that?
Crazy,
they got rid of the France Grand Prix. France Grand Prix is such a good track.
And when you think about the tracks we have, like Monaco, it's like, yo, like
Monaco should deliver.
Other great tracks. Yeah. Like, this is the 75th year. We could have had something really extravagant. They could have just pulled out so much, like, more for this being the 75th year.
And to think, and to think that they are going to be using Spa as like every year or so, you're getting rid of like big tracks with big overtaking opportunities and keeping crappy tracks or just sellout tracks for just to attract celebrities and just, generate a bit more revenue. And I get it from the business side of things. It's like, you know, what's going to generate the most revenue? But think of the fans, you know. First and foremost, sports is for the fans.
True.
But they're not treating it like that. And I just think it's slowly dying.
And you know what's more interesting as well? I think Monaco, Morocco.
Africa, Monaco.
Morocco, sorry. It's just stuck in my mouth now.
Yeah.
Morocco. So Morocco's actually putting a bid for to have the F1 over in Tangier. So that's interesting.
That's on them.
And that's what we need, man. We need more like different countries and stuff to just come into the mix.
Well, I thought South Africa was going to be...
Yeah, I think that them as well. But
South Africa's going to be long though, man. Imagine like being part of the calendar. It's like how you gonna orchestrate that? So you'd have to do it in the same time like Saudi and them tracks are going off because it's the closest one.
Oh yeah, it's true.
South Africa's right at the bottom.
Damn.
Imagine they'll have to take a 2-week break in between
or something like that, innit? But it's
very
interesting.
They've got a new Saudi Arabia track coming up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is that the one with the weird incline thing as well, where they had to go
Rainbow
up?
Road. Rainbow Road, man. Saudi are cooking. I'll give it to Saudi. At least to make circuits, man.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. It has to be.
But on the two-stop strategy, we saw the same thing we saw in the years before, where teams will sacrifice one driver to hold up the pack, and that's where we saw +1 lap and +2 laps from like 5th and below. It's just teams are going to exploit that, and it's not their fault. They're going to do it because it's a successful strategy.
True.
We saw it with Liam Lawson was doing it for the Racing Bulls, and then we saw Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz running it for Williams. Fair enough, but
makes sense.
You know how flawed it is the fact that George just drove through after the tunnel in the chicane, and he was like, "I'll take the penalty," and he was so much faster that he was actually better off doing that. So now the FIA probably looked at it, it's like, it's flawed.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can get them thinking, but I reckon we will still get Monaco Grand Prix for years to come, which is sad for everyone, I think.
Yeah, everyone involved,
but it is what it is. But yeah, Spain.
On to better things,
Yes.
So the big thing going into Spain though is actually the new TD. So
the technical director.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think McLaren are gonna have a halt? Do you think they're gonna?
Yeah, it's the biggest question mark for Spain. That he's asking. I think no. I hope it does. I don't want it to be too much because as fans we want to keep it competitive as we can, and we've got a 3-way title race at the moment. It's good to see, but I do hope it does do just enough to kind of bring the other teams in so that we can get more winners.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think so. I think McLaren have been very confident about this whole technical directive, and they've had 8 races up until this point to prepare for that.
True.
I think it would have been better if they had done it at the beginning of the season, because if they did have that flexi front wing, which they do, they're just utilizing and just maximizing
everything I can do.
Yeah. So I do wonder if it's going to do anything. I don't think it will. I still think McLaren will have a very powerful race car and the best race car on the grid. But I hope so.
Apparently as well, Mercedes, very, very big on Mercedes as well.
Very
they might
flexible,
actually,
are they?
Yeah, I don't think Mercedes are going to fare out too well after this new TD's implemented either.
Yeah, but well, why should Mercedes care, man? I don't think nobody cares about Mercedes if they're going to be affected or not. I don't even think Mercedes even care if they're going to be affected or not. They're probably just saying like, whatever, man. We'll just wait until the next regulations where we're just going to dominate.
Oh yeah, 2026 inbound, isn't it?
Because they're not winning the constructors. They've got no drivers in the drivers championship.
George was kind of there, innit, at one point.
Ish. He was just kind of in the distance, and now he's like really far in the distance.
I always say that about George. He's always in his own area.
You can probably just about make him in the rear view mirror, but I think now you can't really see him that much at the moment because it's not been looking good for Mercedes the last 2 races. Imola and Monaco, they've
shocking.
Yeah, those upgrades were updates, right?
Yeah, updates, not upgrades.
But I do hear that Ferrari are bringing some upgrades to Spain.
I think so. I think it's a new front wing, which is actually where a lot of the things actually generate from as well, to be fair.
I read that Fred Vasseur was talking about the technical directive coming in, and he said he believes that they'll be the least affected because they've not been running like too much flex on the front wing, and yeah, they'll be fine, which I do believe, to be fair.
To be fair, that's one thing that I've going for them. And I think for Ferrari, their thing is mainly the rear suspension, but that's going to be Silverstone. So Silverstone's where I want to see a big thing from Ferrari, to be honest.
You could argue that. I mean, Monaco's a bit of a outlier, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is a quali race, but I mean, and it is Charles. Charles at Monaco is a different beast. He's the best Monaco driver. I think
definitely.
He always turns up even when he doesn't have the car underneath him. But I think Ferrari's turning a corner.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, because going into it, they actually said, like, we think we're going to be the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even to the point where even, like, Lewis was comfortable as well. It shows promising signs. I mean, he was even P3 at one point, you know what I'm saying? When he, for a brief moment, then, you know, he went down to P4. But, I mean...
wasn't a real P3, basically. Wait. It's just like... But it's like saying, you know, Max was P1 at least twice in the race. I didn't believe it at one moment. Oh, yeah, Max is P1. Go on, get in. I was like, man, this guy needs to pit still. Because it's two-star strategy.
Still leading laps, though. Still leading laps.
Yeah, on the stats.
Yeah,
sure.
see?
Yeah.
I think he still led the most laps, to be fair.
Who, Max?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, he actually still has one of the highest numbers up there.
You know what I loved from Max? He was the only saving grace, trying to like push Lando into Leclerc, maybe trying to cause a red flag so he gets a free pit stop and just do it. But you got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah,
he was
you have to.
The only thing that was making the race a little bit fun.
Yeah,
but even that wasn't fun. That's how bad it was.
You know what's funny as well? I actually didn't see the race live either. I actually watched it on highlights.
Hey man, you did the
extended. No, was it extended? No. It wasn't even extended highlights.
No, you don't do that for Monaco. never watch extended highlights for Monaco. And I'll be surprised if the editor could make an extended highlights of Monaco. At that point, you might as well just run the full highlights of the whole race. Like, how can you even make highlights of Monaco? It's true though. What happened? Apart from like Bortola to crash, but forget. Enough of Monaco, man.
Don't worry, brighter futures ahead. We got Spain.
Yeah, Monaco's out the way. We're done with it now.
A proper track.
Yes.
Proper track. Mate.
And let's talk about our predictions. And this might be juicy because of the technical directive.
True.
And see how much impact do you think it has on your predictions.
I know.
So we're going for qualies first. Who do you think will be the pole sitter in Spain?
You know what's funny, right? All of this said and done, I'm still going to put McLaren in the top 3. Qualies, I'm going to say Lando.
Okay.
Max, second.
Yeah.
Piastri third. Fuck
Piastri
it.
third?
I don't want to do that again, but it's just...
You're never changing it, bro.
I don't want to I want to change it, but...
Yeah, the £50 just like in your head right now, isn't it?
But Mercedes, I wanted to put Mercedes in there, like a George Russell, but with the whole TT and them being, you know, where they're at.
Flexi, yeah.
Ferrari are looking good, but
you don't trust them.
Yeah. I don't trust them yet.
I don't think they trust themselves. All right, fine. You went for the safest option again. That was your order, right?
Yeah.
So Lando, Max, Oscar.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to go with, for the quali, Max pole.
Wow.
I think Max pole. I'm going to go with Oscar second.
Okay.
I'm going to copy your one because I do believe it's going to be a McLaren Red Bull again. And I'm going to go with Lando third. I do believe, I know we don't do fourth and fifth, but I do believe that Leclerc and Hamilton will be thereabouts.
Yeah.
I kind of do believe in Ferrari turning a corner, but let's see. They've proven us wrong many times before.
That's true. I want to be proven wrong.
Yeah,
I want to
me
be.
too. Yeah, I wouldn't even mind any of the Ferrari drivers with him at this point. It'd be nice to change it up a little bit because we've only had McLaren Red Bull winners.
True. That's wild. Wow. It just hit me. That's crazy. God damn.
I think it will change. Hopefully,
Yeah, it should.
I don't know. Let's see. Good surprise.
Yuki Tsunoda, top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5.
That is a big shout.
I know. I'm going for him.
You know what? That's not a bad one. And I'm just thinking because I'm not basing it off Monaco, I'm basing it off Imola. Because Monaco is that track you just don't know where anybody stands. And Imola, he made a good recovery run. He was making overtakes. He just messed up in qualifying. So yeah, that's not a bad shout. For me, a good surprise. I've been saying Fernando Alonso for the past 2 races. I'm not going to do that because I just think he's been so unlucky. So much like car problems, and he's qualified great, and the car seems great at the moment. Aston Martin has turned a corner. Maybe the presence of Adrian Newey in the grid and coming in. Yeah, he's done something.
His presence has been.
I see him standing over the McLaren, and I'm thinking if I was McLaren engineers, I'd tell him, "Could you leave, please?"
He needs to.
He's too dangerous.
Very. He starts looking at that with that wheel, that wheel arch a little too high,
He had his notebook out and he's just like looking. I'll be shook if I was McLaren. Like, oh shit, man, he's here. So good surprise. This is a tough one. Your one's quite a good bold shout. I was gonna go for a bit more of a safer option, but
don't play safe, man.
Yeah, I was gonna go with the Ferrari. You know what? I will go with Ferrari. I'm gonna go with a Lewis Hamilton. It's a good surprise.
What, Lewis Hamilton podium? Lewis Hamilton?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about that, then we might as well go into our race winners podium predictions. Then yeah, I'm gonna go with Lewis Hamilton on the podium.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Lewis Hamilton will have a good race. I think it's about time.
He's been cooking, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been getting better. He's been getting more used to the car as well. But whilst we're on the race,
so yeah, top 3 predictions.
I think we've said the top 3, right, for quali. But what makes it more interesting is that if Ferrari are in the top 5, it does change everything.
Yeah, they can do something. If they've got the race pace, they can do something.
I am quite optimistic in them potentially being in the top 5 as well, both. However,
not podium for you?
It's tough. I feel
like you want to just to be different. Because I've read the last couple of races, your predictions have just been.
I think Lando.
Do it, man.
I think Lando would. He'll still hold it. I think he'll still hold it down.
Yeah.
He's gonna be very tricky.
So Max is Lando first.
Max is gonna. It depends on their fight. Him and Max are gonna be beefing, but if him and Max are beefing, Max may come off on top as well. That's the thing. I do think Max has that over him. So, okay, for the race, I'm going to say Lando.
Yeah.
Max. Probably Leclerc. Maybe
you know what's funny? You know what's like? Because I said Lewis, he's going Leclerc. But if I didn't say Lewis, he would have said Lewis. He didn't want to copy me.
Stop it. No. I'm going to say Leclerc.
You want to trade?
No, I'm not going to trade.
Are you sure?
No, that's what I honestly think.
Yeah?
I think Leclerc would actually have
I'll trade with you.
I think Leclerc would have Piastri. So I'm going to say Lando, Max, Leclerc.
Okay. He's taking my idea for a Ferrari as a good surprise. But I'm gonna be different. I am gonna go Max win.
Okay.
And I am gonna go with Lando second, and then obviously I already said I'm gonna go with Lewis third. And then Oscar will be thereabouts.
Oh, it's funny. We both kind of put Oscar out. Why is that? I mean, he's the championship leader. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
but only by like what 2-3 points at the moment. He's still his championship leader. I don't know. Just he's done great. He won 3 races in a row. However, I just think Miami, he won because Max was just being a dick against both of them. And it could have been different because Lando was faster. I think we're saying it because Lando has been faster in those races, and we can see that Lando is the faster driver. So I think after the win on Monaco, he might be coming in. He might be cooking soon, Lando. I think he's got that confidence. Oscar's probably feeling it, the pressure. He's noticing his championship lead just be cut down to 2-3 points. Let's see. You know, we always see Oscar as this cool-haired, good mental strength, and I think on the surface he's that, but we don't know what's working on inside at the moment.
True.
Because leading a championship and being a championship contender, and Lando knows that pressure last year when he was facing up against Max, and I saw footages of him that he hates the cameras, probably couldn't handle the pressure. So I wonder, is Oscar feeling it a little bit? He might not show it, but he's feeling it. Maybe. So yeah, and on the last one, biggest loser.
Fernando.
Oh, you're going with Fernando this one?
Actually, no. I didn't want to say Fernando. I just feel
You
bad.
already said it now.
No.
Guys.
I feel bad.
No.
All right. So I think I'm going to say biggest loser might be, I think it might be Kimi, you know. Like, I feel like Kimi's had some hard luck. I don't know why. I don't think it's him because of skill. I think it's just going to be a situation, to be honest.
I'm going to go with...
He's just going to come off short.
It's not a bad one. I think I said that for him in Monaco. Not too far off, and his one was in quali rather than in the race. But in the race, I don't think he scored any points, so kind of the same. No, I'm not going to go with Mercedes. And I think Ferrari will be good. McLaren, Red Bull should be okay as well. Biggest loser. That's a tough one for Spain, I have to say.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to go with Oscar Piastri as the biggest loser of Spain.
Wow.
Yeah, I just thought, let me just be outlandish right now. There's no reason for it.
But if he loses his championship lead, then he might be a biggest loser.
That's what I'm kind of going with. I think the pressure is there. Lando he's knocking on the door. And with the technical directive, we don't know where McLaren is going to fare. And the pack might close up, so it means more competition. So yeah, I'm going off of that. I don't think he's going to be a biggest loser of like, oh, he's going to really fuck up or anything like that. I just think he's just going to have an okay race. But an okay race for a championship leader is a biggest loser.
Facts.
That's my logic to it.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that bombshell.
We'll end it there on that mic drop. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for tuning in
on our F1 weekly catch up.
Like, subscribe, comment.
Yes. And we're out.
Peace.